The challenge for a company with a long, proud history is to preserve its heritage at the same time as appeal to the modern consumer. This was the dilemma facing the clothing brand Wolsey. The company was founded as long ago as 1755 in Leicester, a city with a long association with the hosiery and textile industries. Wolsey underwear was selected by both Captain Scott and Roald Amundsen and their teams for their race to the South Pole in 1911. And since 1935, the company has held at least one royal warrant.
I think consumers take trust from longevity, and the fact that this business has been around for over 250 years in many shapes and forms, I think that adds confidence to consumers when they are considering which brands they want to buy into.
But longevity is not enough on its own to guarantee business success in the long term. Over a 3-year period from 2005, sales began to decline. The management team knew it had to make some bold decisions.
We're honoured to be on Wolsey's watch, and I did not want Wolsey to disappear on our watch. We're very lucky to have this history, this brand, and if we carried on the way we were, we wouldn't be here in a few years' time.
The plan of action the management took saw profits head back up in the right direction, with a double-digit increase in 2009. The first step was a realignment of the brand to appeal to a younger consumer.
For too long we'd been complacent and allowed the product and the age that it appealed to slip older and older. And it just become too marginalised, and it was really important that we needed to relook at the brand and reassess where it could sit with a much younger audience.
We were serving a customer that's dwindling in the marketplace. You know, menswear now is about attitude rather than about absolute age, and someone at 50 is just as likely to wear a shirt or a sweater that somebody at 30 would wear, whereas that wasn't maybe the case, you know, 10, 15 years ago.
We went back and looked at whether or not the actual makeup of the product was right in terms of the fit, in terms of the silhouette. We looked at the way that some of our fabrics would allow them to get a little bit too old-fashioned, you know, so we had to look at the new kind of fabrics that people were looking at.
For this brand realignment to be successful, Wolsey knew it had to return to its roots, at a time when Britain enjoyed an unparalleled reputation for textile manufacturing. Today, the manufacturing landscape has shifted. For economic reasons, Wolsey, like many other well-known brands, uses manufacturing bases in the Far East and India. But a few years ago, it decided to bring certain lines, key iconic pieces, back to the UK to be produced here.
What we decided was that, as it was part of our heritage, it was important that where we could manufacture or find manufacturers in the UK, that we would source from UK sources where it made sense to do so.
We want to be known as a real British company, and to have a British company, you should make some of your products made in Great Britain. That in itself is quite a challenge today because there aren't that many manufacturing facilities as there used to be.
The challenge for Wolsey was to match product with the appropriate manufacturing base. So some lamb's wool sweaters are made in Scotland, some merino sweaters are made in Derbyshire, and some socks are made in Wolsey's hometown of Leicester. Manufacturing these garments in the UK allows Wolsey to reposition its brand in the marketplace and to charge a premium for them.
As a brand, you have to be able to charge a premium, and you can only do that through things such as the quality of the product, the engineering that's in the product, the styling of the product, to make it more desirable so that customers are prepared to pay more than they would pay for an equivalent unbranded product.
We'll never be the cheapest at a merino sweater, and that's not the name of the game. You know, the name of the game is to give our customers a merino sweater that is made in England, made by one of the best knitters that we have in England, if not the best knitters.
Wolsey's name has global reach, but how you view Wolsey products will depend on where in the world you live. In the Far East, for example, particularly Korea, Wolsey is almost exclusively a golf brand. In fact, Wolsey has a long and proud association with golf, going back many decades. But its long-term goal is to be seen worldwide as a lifestyle brand, appealing to a young, aspirational consumer. To achieve this successfully, Wolsey realised it had to cut lines that were popular but didn't fit the new ethos of the company.
Some products can have large sales associated with them and profits, but if we continue to do them, it wouldn't enable us to reposition the brand. So you have to make big commercial decisions to be able to move from point A to point B.
The Wolsey success story illustrates how bold decision-making at management level can revitalise a brand and bring it to a new consumer base. The course is set fair for Wolsey to clothe customers for another 255 years.